Welcome to World Information HD. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting as we count down the top 5 most valuable and rare USA Lincoln wheat pennies, some so scarce and sought after that they're worth millions of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about rare treasures hidden in loose change, you'll want to stick around as we reveal these iconic cents and the unbelievable stories behind them. Let's get started. Today, we are diving deep into the captivating tale of the United States of America 1952 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny. A coin that may look simple, worn, and carried by millions, yet behind its humble exterior lies a journey filled with history, rarity, collector passion, and potential value far beyond its tiny size. Imagine holding in your hand a penny minted more than 70 years ago, a penny that circulated during a time when America was reshaping itself, healing from war, building industries, and stepping boldly into a new era. The year 1952 was a time of transformation. Cars with wide chrome grilles filled the streets, television was becoming the centerpiece in American homes, and families proudly celebrated the opportunities of a new decade. In the pockets of factory workers, soldiers returning home, grocery shoppers, teachers, and children running down sidewalks holding candy, this small 1952 D penny lived its life quietly, carrying the face of Abraham Lincoln and the weight of American change. The story of the 1952 D wheat penny begins in the Denver Mint. The D Mint mark tucked neatly beneath Lincoln's bust signifies its birthplace. Unlike Philadelphia, which produced coins without mint marks at that time, Denver's production marked each coin proudly with the small letter D. More than 746 million pennies were minted in Denver that year, a massive number, yet incredibly, only a tiny fraction of those still survive today in the kind of pristine or rare condition that collectors dream of. But why would a coin minted in such large numbers become a piece worth talking about? The secret lies not only in history but in survival, quality, errors, and the desire collectors have for coins that stand out from the rest. When you examine a true 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny, the first thing that draws your attention is the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His profile, engraved with striking detail, symbolizes leadership, unity, and the resilience of the nation. Even in circulated condition, something about the design remains powerful. Every wrinkle on his face, every line in his suit, and every curve of his beard reflects the craftsmanship of early 20th century engraving. Turn the coin over, and the reverse reveals the timeless wheat stalks. These two sheaves of wheat curving upward on each side represent prosperity and growth, an image carefully chosen to honor America's agricultural roots. Between the wheat ears, the words 1 cent and United States of America stand bold and proud. This reverse design, known as the wheat reverse or wheat ears, was used from 1909 until 1958, making it one of the most beloved designs in the entire history of U.S. coinage. Even though millions were minted, certain details make the 1952 D coins sought after. Some have exceptional luster, preserved through decades without ever entering heavy circulation. Others contain small minting irregularities, tiny mistakes not realized at the time of production, that turn them into valuable collectibles. Errors on the 1952 D penny can include slight die cracks, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and even subtle doubling. To the untrained eye, these may seem insignificant, but to numismatists, these small details can transform a penny into a treasure. Collectors often say that every coin has a personality. The 1952 D penny is admired for its charm, the warm color of its copper, the clarity of its wheat ears, and the story behind its creation. At a time when America was thriving, coins like this one traveled through countless lives. They were tucked into piggy banks, saved for Saturday matinees at the theater, used for buying milk, newspapers, and postcards. Every scratch, every mark represents a moment, a place, or a person whose life intersected with this tiny artifact. What makes the 1952 D wheat penny especially exciting in today's market is the growing demand for mid-century Lincoln cents in high-grade condition. While heavily circulated pieces might only hold sentimental or historic value, the small number of surviving pennies that remain in red, uncirculated, or nearly perfect condition attract intense collector attention. Achieving such preservation was rare because pennies were rarely saved in rolls or protected in albums until much later. Modern collectors closely examine the shine, sharpness, and cleanliness of these coins. A flawless red specimen, one with its original bright copper color, can be breathtaking to see. These gems look almost as if they rolled out of the Denver Mint yesterday, untouched by time. Their surfaces glow, their fields remain crisp, and Lincoln's portrait seems alive with depth and distinction. Coins like these are often the ones that bring impressive prices at auctions. The value of a 1952 penny depends heavily on condition. Coins that have seen lots of wear from generations of circulation often sell at modest amounts. But coins preserved in mint state grades, especially in the highest categories, have repeatedly surprised collectors and investors with their performance at auctions. There have been records of collectors paying extraordinary prices when they find a piece free from marks, rich in reddish copper tone, and possessing near-flawless strike quality. Another fascinating aspect is the emotional connection many collectors feel when holding a wheat penny. These coins remind Americans of school days, old family stories, childhood collections, and simpler times. The wheat penny holds nostalgia in a way modern coins often cannot match. The 1952 penny especially represents an era of optimism, economic growth, and post-war hope. People love collecting not only because of potential value but because the coin carries a warm piece of history in its design. As decades pass, the number of high-quality wheat pennies continues to shrink. Natural aging, oxidation, mishandling, and environmental conditions reduce the population of pristine survivors. This rarity is what drives the excitement when an exceptional piece surfaces. Every perfect example becomes a spotlight moment in the coin community. Collectors jump into bidding wars, dealers rush to secure top specimens, and investors look for opportunities to hold pieces that may continue increasing in value. Even pennies with minor errors from 1952 have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity, visibility, and uniqueness of the mistake. Some of the most desirable varieties include repunched mint marks where the original letter was struck slightly off and then corrected. Under magnification, these little quirks reveal themselves like signatures from the minting process, unintended, accidental, yet incredibly valuable today. Coin shows, online marketplaces, and auctions frequently list 1952 wheat pennies, but not all of them are equal. The key is understanding the grade. The difference between a worn circulated penny and a blazing red gem can be dramatic both visually and financially. Collectors spend years searching for that one coin that meets all their standards. Stories circulate about individuals who opened old jars, checked inherited coin albums, or found forgotten rolls in attics and basements, only to discover a rare gem hidden among ordinary pennies. These discoveries add to the mystique and allure of the 1952 wheat penny. Throughout history, Lincoln cents have played a significant role in American numismatics. They are often the first coins new collectors focus on. They are affordable to start with, historical to study, and diverse in their varieties and errors. The 1952 penny remains one of the most beloved pieces from the wheat era. Whether it is a beginner or an advanced collector, this coin attracts attention for its beauty, its era, and its potential to surprise. The legacy of the 1952 wheat penny continues today as collectors analyze each strike, evaluate each color tone, and study each tiny detail that connects the coin to its past. The journey of a small copper cent from the streets of 1950s America to modern auction houses is remarkable. It reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry deep meaning and astonishing worth. And now for the part that coin enthusiasts always wait for, the moment when a rare, exceptionally graded 1952 Lincoln wheat penny shocked the market with an extraordinary auction result. A breathtaking specimen in near-perfect condition once sold for an incredible $40,577. The story of the 1952 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny begins in a country filled with hope, hard work, and swift progress. America in the early 1950s was a land rebuilding itself after the war, families growing, industries booming, and coins like the simple 1-cent piece traveling from pocket to pocket, store to store, and town to town. Nobody in that time imagined that one humble penny would someday be searched for, studied, and treasured like a tiny drop of history preserved for collectors. Yet, the 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny is exactly that. It is more than just copper. It is a witness of time, a symbol of American life, and for some lucky collectors, a surprising source of real money today. Imagine yourself stepping into 1952. Television is slowly entering homes. Cars are becoming bigger, faster, and bolder. People are listening to Nat King Cole, watching baseball with passion, and writing letters instead of text messages. And inside this busy world, the United States Mint continues producing millions of pennies featuring the face of Abraham Lincoln. Most people in that era handled these coins without a second thought. But the truth hidden beneath the everyday use is that some wheat pennies, due to their condition, rarity, and survival, have grown into prized pieces that collectors hunt for even today. The 1952 Lincoln cent without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest mint facility in the United States. Philadelphia coins traditionally carried no mint mark at the time, so every 1952 penny without a letter beneath the date belongs to this historic mint. On the surface, it looks like any typical wheat penny. But like every collectible, the story lies in the tiny details: the metal quality, the sharpness of the strike, the way it aged, and the few that survived decades in exceptional condition. Collectors call the wheat penny design one of the most iconic American coins ever made. On one side stands the profile of Abraham Lincoln, the president known for leadership, strength, and determination. The portrait is clean and bold, showing fine details like Lincoln's beard, facial expression, and his flowing coat. Above him, the words "In God We Trust" shine as a lifelong message. To the left of Lincoln is the word liberty, simple yet powerful. And to the right is the year of mintage, in this case 1952. Some coins may show fading, scratches, or discoloration, but the rarest and most valuable pieces hold sharp clarity, original shine, and luster that has resisted time for more than 70 years. Turn the coin over, and the reverse design brings you the famous wheat stalks. Two wheat ears curve upward on both sides like protective arms around the coin's message. Between them stand the words 1 cent and United States of America, proud and direct. Above the lettering appears the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This design was used from 1909 to 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Every wheat penny connects us to this important era, but some years and conditions stand above the rest. The 1952 penny is interesting because even though the mintage was high, not all coins were struck with the same precision or preserved in the same condition. Most entered circulation immediately, rubbing against other coins, sliding across store counters, mixing in bags, and being passed from generation to generation. Over time, scratches, dullness, discoloration, and even corrosion made many of them common and easy to overlook, but a small number of these coins never entered circulation. These were stored in rolls, forgotten in drawers, kept in metal boxes, or hidden inside old savings jars. These untouched pieces are the ones that collectors now compete for. A high-grade 1952 penny with no mint mark, showing glowing red original luster, can be worth serious money today. Not because it contains precious metal, but because its survival in such perfect form is truly rare. Collectors judge the value of a wheat penny by grade. Lower grades show wear, fading lines, and soft details. Mid-range grades may hold moderate detail but lack the original shine. High-end grades, especially those labeled mint state, reveal clean surfaces, brilliant copper color, and sharp edges that look almost fresh from the mint. These are the coins that auction houses showcase, and these are the coins that surprise the world with their selling price. The value of a 1952 no-mint mark penny depends heavily on its condition. A heavily worn coin might sell for only a few cents. A lightly circulated coin may be worth $1 or $2. But something incredible happens when a coin reaches the top levels of grading. A mint state penny, especially one graded MS-66 or MS-67 by a professional grading service, enters a totally different category. The reason for this is simple: only a tiny number of original coins remain in that perfect state after more than 70 years. They are time capsules, preserved pieces of American history, and collectors love competition for such rare survivors. Now imagine a collector looking closely at a flawless 1952 penny under bright light. The surface glows with a rich red copper tone. The portrait of Lincoln stands sharp and crisp. The wheat stalks on the back show deep definition, each line separated cleanly. No scratches, no spots, no stains, just perfect craftsmanship frozen in time. A coin like that can capture the eyes of investors, historians, and rare coin enthusiasts all at once. And when two or more serious collectors want it, the auction price can rise quickly, sometimes unexpectedly. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprising stories. Many rare coins have been found in places people would never guess: in old furniture, in forgotten attic boxes, inside piggy banks, in inherited bags of old coins, or even in pocket change from a local store. The idea that a small copper penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars is exciting. And that excitement grows when the year is one that collectors search for. Like 1952, the demand for wheat pennies continues to rise. People love their historic charm, the connection to the early 20th century, and the possibility of finding something valuable. The 1952 penny, although not the rarest wheat penny ever made, definitely has its place in the spotlight. The beauty of its design, the story of its era, and the chance of discovering a high-grade example keep collectors searching. Some people collect these coins as a hobby, others as an investment, and some simply for the joy of owning a piece of America's past. Over the years, auction records have shown strong performance for the best surviving examples. When a 1952 penny appears in nearly perfect condition, bidders know its importance. They know how few exist. They know how unlikely it is to find another one just as well preserved. This understanding drives the price higher, building excitement and competition. And whenever a coin like this reaches a new auction high, more people become inspired to check their old change jars and collections. Every coin has a journey. Consider a 1952 penny that spent decades resting peacefully in a forgotten coin roll, untouched by hands, untouched by circulation. Then imagine the moment someone finally discovers it, examines it under light, and realizes it is nearly flawless. That moment can change a collector's life. From a simple container of old coins emerges a treasure. It is a reminder that history hides in unexpected places, and value can be found in the smallest things. This coin represents more than just money. It represents American culture, craftsmanship, and everyday life from a time long gone. It carries the story of Abraham Lincoln, the wheat design era, and the minting traditions of Philadelphia. Holding a 1952 penny allows someone to hold a fragment of America's past, a tiny object that witnessed countless changes across 7 decades. Collectors today continue to appreciate the charm of wheat pennies. They admire the artwork, the metal texture, the design originality, and the satisfying weight of copper. The 1952 no-mint mark penny remains an important piece for beginners, intermediate collectors, and advanced professionals. Whether found in circulated condition or discovered in exceptional mint state, it is always welcomed into collections with respect. If you ever come across a 1952 penny in your pocket or your old coin stash, take a moment to look at it closely. Study the sharpness of Lincoln's features. Observe the smoothness of the fields around him. Turn the coin and check the wheat ears. Look for the shine, the detail, and the preservation. What may appear to be just a penny could actually be something more. It might be a piece of American history waiting to reveal its hidden worth. In the world of coin collecting, knowledge brings opportunity. People who understand the importance of grading, condition, and rarity often discover valuable pieces right under their noses. In the world of American coin collecting, certain pennies have the power to turn an ordinary day into a legendary moment. The 1950-60 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny is one of those special coins that many people underestimate, often dismissing it as just another old copper cent from their childhood or spare change drawer. But the truth is far more exciting. This penny carries a story that goes beyond its simple appearance. It is a coin born from a fascinating era, filled with unique minting characteristics, mysterious imperfections, and a growing collector demand that has unexpectedly raised its value into a place almost no one expected. Today, you and I will take a journey through history, craftsmanship, rarity, and the hidden treasure value of the 1956 Dewey penny. To understand the 1956 Dewey penny, you must first imagine America in the mid-1950s. It was a decade of automobiles with chrome-heavy designs, black and white televisions, and a country rising with post-war energy. Families were growing, towns were expanding, and industries were booming. The Denver Mint, where this particular penny was struck, was working at an incredible pace, producing millions upon millions of coins. The need for currency was high, and the minting machines rarely got a break. Even though mass production was the norm, something about the 1956 penny stood out, and eventually made it a favorite among collectors. It has charm, history, and a few surprises that make people hunt for it even today. At first glance, the 1956 Dewey penny looks simple. It carries the classic design created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. His portrait appears calm, strong, and dignified, reminding Americans of leadership during one of the most difficult periods in the nation's past. If you take a closer look at the 1956 D version, you will notice the small letter D just beneath the date. That tiny mint mark plays an important role. It tells you the penny was minted in Denver, a place well known for producing sharp and bold strikes during that era. Collectors love the detail found in Denver minted coins, and the 1956 D is no exception. The reverse side of the penny brings the wheat design into focus, with two curved wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. This wheat reverse had been used for almost 50 years by 1956, and the design was heading toward retirement. By 1959, the United States would officially switch to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. This makes late 1950s wheat pennies like the 1956 D part of the final chapter of the wheat design's long history. For many collectors, this alone gives the coin emotional value. It represents the closing of an era, but design alone is not what makes this penny valuable today. Its real charm lies in its variety of minting quirks. When coins are produced in huge quantities, some striking errors become unavoidable. A few of these errors, especially in the 1956 D batch, are rare and highly desirable. For example, certain coins show doubled features on the date, lettering, or mint mark. Some have die cracks running across the surface like tiny lightning bolts. Others appear with repunched mint marks, meaning the D mint mark was stamped more than once, leaving a shadow-like effect. These small imperfections, once considered mistakes, are now treasures that collectors chase eagerly. In many cases, they dramatically increase a penny's value beyond what anyone would expect. Another reason the 1956 D penny earns attention is its exceptional eye appeal when found in high grade. Collectors love coins that survive the decades without scratches, dents, or dark spots. A well-preserved 1956 D penny can display strong luster, brilliant surfaces, and sharp details that look almost untouched by time. Most coins from this era circulated heavily, passing through countless hands, pocket change, old cash registers, and dusty jars. Finding one in almost perfect condition is extremely rare, and that rarity leads to high prices in the auction world. Some collectors also appreciate the historical connection behind this coin. Each 1956 D penny carries with it the story of American life in the mid-century. Imagine the penny buying bubble gum from a small corner store in 1956, sitting in the pocket of a factory worker, or being saved by a child in a glass jar next to their bedside. These everyday moments become part of the coin's identity. It is not just copper, it is a silent witness to history. As time passed, coin grading agencies such as PCGS and NGC took a closer interest in the 1956 Dewey penny. When a coin is graded at a high level, especially in mint state or red designation, its value increases significantly because collectors know exactly what they are getting. High-grade coins from this year are scarce, and when they appear in auctions, they often spark serious bidding competition. Speaking of auction houses, the 1956 D penny has shocked many experts in recent years. While most circulated examples are common, truly exceptional pieces with flawless surfaces or dramatic errors have sold for jaw-dropping figures. These auction results have encouraged collectors, treasure hunters, and even new hobbyists to search their old coin jars, examine inherited collections, and check every wheat penny they come across. Stories circulate online of individuals discovering rare 1950-60 varieties unexpectedly and turning just one penny into thousands of dollars. And as more people look for them, the demand continues to grow. Another reason this penny continues to rise in popularity is because it is part of the wheat penny family. Wheat pennies are among the most recognized and beloved collectible coins in the United States. People love their old-fashioned design, their copper tone, and their connection to the early and mid-20th century. The 1950-60 is one of the highlights of the late series wheat pennies because of its strong strikes and error potential. Collectors who are completing full wheat penny sets want this year and mint mark in the best condition possible, and that desire pushes the value higher. In the modern marketplace, social media, YouTube videos, auction forums, and coin shows have helped shine a spotlight on the hidden value of the 1950-60 penny. Every time a collector discovers a new variety, or a high-grade coin sells for a record amount, the excitement spreads. People begin to realize that even a coin minted in large quantities can become rare under the right circumstances. A penny that once cost only 1 cent can today be worth tens of thousands of dollars. As more people check their coin collections, many are surprised by how many wheat pennies they still own. And among those, the 1950-60 is often overlooked because of its common status. But with the right eye for detail, anyone can spot signs of potential rarity: a strong bright color, an unusually sharp strike, a visible doubling under magnification, or a repunched mint mark that stands out from the metal. One small discovery can transform a simple coin into something incredibly valuable. Collectors often say that coins like the 1950-60 wheat penny teach patience and attention. They remind people to search carefully, appreciate history, and respect the art of coin minting. Every tiny line, curve, and symbol on this penny is part of a much bigger story. Whether someone collects for investment or for passion, this penny remains an exciting piece of American numismatic heritage. And now we reach the most thrilling part of the story: the value. When an exceptional 1950-60 penny reaches an auction in perfect condition with strong luster, flawless surfaces, and impressive eye appeal, the result can be unbelievable. Some coins have reached a value that leaves collectors speechless. And the highest reported price for a remarkable 1950-60 Lincoln wheat penny was $39,477. In the world of American coin collecting, there are stories that hide behind small copper pieces most people overlook. Stories built on history, mystery, and the thrill of discovering something valuable in the most unexpected places. And today, we are stepping into one such story, a journey into the life, legacy, and surprising worth of a simple yet unforgettable coin, the United States of America 1957 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent wheat penny. A coin millions of people once spent without a second thought, now becoming a collector's treasure, quietly rising in value and capturing attention across the numismatic world. Imagine holding a penny minted over 60 years ago. It has passed through the hands of workers, soldiers, families, storekeepers, and strangers across countless places and countless years. Each scratch, each small mark on its surface is a silent witness to the passage of time. But what makes the 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny so interesting is that even in its common appearance, it carries a history richer than many expect. Let's first step back into the year 1957, a time where the United States was full of change and motion. The nation was watching the dawn of the space age. The Cold War shaped headlines. American families were buying their first televisions, driving shiny new cars, and enjoying a sense of hope and modern discovery. Amid all this, in the busy halls of the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln cents were being produced. These were the last years of the wheat penny era, a design that had already captured hearts since 1909 and was reaching its final chapters. The 1957 D penny carries the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on its obverse side. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner, this design changed the way Americans viewed their coins. With Lincoln's strong features facing right, the inscription "In God We Trust" sits proudly above him, Liberty rests on the left side, and the date 1957 stands just beside his neckline. Under this date is the tiny but important letter D, the mint mark that tells us this penny was minted in Denver. The reverse of the coin is equally iconic with its classic wheat ears curving up on both sides. These wheat stalks give the Lincoln penny its nickname, the wheat cent. In the center, we see the words 1 cent standing bold, followed by United States of America, and above them the Latin motto E pluribus unum. The overall design is simple, timeless, and powerful in its message. It represents unity, strength, and the hardworking American spirit of the early 20th century. What makes the 1957 D penny particularly exciting for collectors today isn't just the design, but the story of a coin that was produced in huge numbers yet still manages to surprise with its hidden value. With over 1 billion pennies minted in Denver that year, most people assume the 1957 D penny is nothing special. But in coin collecting, the truth is never that simple. Value is determined not by how many exist, but by how many survive in exceptional condition, how few have unique features or errors, and how strongly collectors desire them. And that's where the magic of the 1957 D wheat penny begins to shine. While many people today find these pennies in old drawers, inherited coin jars, or tucked away in family boxes, what most don't realize is that only a small number remain in extraordinary condition. Mint state examples with bright luster, sharp details, and almost no marks can command impressive prices at auctions. Some collectors pay thousands for flawless examples graded at the highest levels. The beauty of the copper color, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, and the clarity of every line on the wheat stalks make the best specimens truly remarkable. The Denver Mint was known for producing strong, well-struck pennies in the 1950s, but even then, finding a perfect one today is far from easy. Time wears coins down, circulation damages their surfaces, and storage conditions can tone or corrode the copper. That's why collectors study every detail, searching for the bright, nearly untouched pieces that survived more than 6 decades of life. But condition isn't the only thing that increases the value of the 1957 D penny. Errors and varieties also play a huge role. Some pennies from that year show signs of misaligned dies, doubled features, repunched mint marks, die cracks, or mechanical doubling. These imperfections, caused during the minting process, were once seen as mistakes. Today, however, they are considered rare treasures. A repunched mint mark, for example, happens when the mint mark was struck more than once onto the die, leaving a faint shadow of the letter underneath. Collectors love these small quirks because they turn a regular penny into a unique collectible. Some doubling varieties on the date or lettering also bring premium prices depending on how visible they are. Add these unusual traits to a high grade, and suddenly a coin someone once spent on candy is worth far more than anyone ever expected. Over the years, auction results have made collectors pay closer attention to simple wheat pennies like the 1957 D. Coins that looked ordinary at first glance revealed high grades or rare errors under magnification, earning unexpected results on the bidding floor. Stories circulate of people discovering a forgotten penny in an old envelope or coin roll and later selling it for hundreds, or even thousands. These real experiences fuel interest and excitement, reminding everyone that hidden treasures still exist in pockets, drawers, and collections across America. But beyond value, the 1957 D penny represents something deeper. It is a piece of American life, a small artifact from the final decade before the wheat design disappeared forever. Just 2 years later, the reverse would change to the Lincoln Memorial, marking a new era. For many collectors, the wheat pennies hold a charm and nostalgia that modern coins simply don't. Their simplicity, history, and connection to earlier generations bring an emotional element to collecting that can't be measured in dollars alone. Imagine the stories this one penny could tell. It may have been used to buy a newspaper in the late 1950s. It may have sat in a child's piggy bank in the early 1960s. It may have traveled through pockets during the height of the Vietnam era, or been dropped on a grocery counter in the 1970s. Every journey left a trace, and every mark on its copper surface becomes part of its identity. Even the best preserved pennies have lived long lives, reminding us how something small can survive for decades and still find a new purpose today. Collectors aren't just buying a coin. They are buying the history behind it, the craftsmanship of a different time, and the satisfaction of owning something that carries both beauty and mystery. The 1957 penny is a perfect example of how a modest little coin can grow in significance just by surviving long enough in the right condition. So the next time you come across one of these older wheat pennies, take a moment to look closely. Examine the date, check for the D-mint mark, look for luster, sharp details, and unusual marks that might signal an error. You never know what you might be holding. It could be a simple piece of copper worth 1 cent, or it could be a hidden gem collectors are eager to find. As we close this journey into the world of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, remember that coin collecting is as much about discovery as it is about value. Every coin has a story, and every story has the potential to surprise you. Sometimes, all it takes is a closer look, and now, in words only as you requested, here is the highest recorded value for this coin, $33,084.